What's up guys, I'm here for another video. Welcome to episode 8 of Building a City. Today we're building Starbucks. So, yeah. Building a city. Today we're building Starbucks. Alright guys, so just gotta set everything up. So, so everything's set up. So let's build a Starbucks.
What's up YouTube? In this video I'll be showing you how to make a Starbucks. If you enjoy this tutorial and you would like to see some more city builds on the channel, please hit that like button as it really helps me, the channel, and poor Steve out as well. And as a side note, I will also show you how to do the inside as well, but you'll have to wait until later in the video for me to show that part off. But without any further ado, let's get started. Now, quickly, before we begin building, here are all of the materials. You will need to make the outside of Starbucks. This will let you make the building and the surrounding outside. But these materials that I'm showing you now are the materials that you will need to make the inside of your Starbucks. I will be showing these later as well, just before we do the inside, so don't feel as though you have to grab them now. You can get them later. The amount of space required to build your Starbucks is a 21 by 19 block area. If you're building a city, then these measurements will help you, and I'd recommend making the grid. Please pause the video if you have to. Gather your materials, make sure that you have enough room to make it, and make sure you want to make it. Once you've got all of those things sorted out, we can begin. So step 1, my friends, involves us coming to the left-hand corner of our grid. If you've not made the grid, it's no big deal. We will be building very soon. Count to the right of this corner. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. And then inwards, 1 and 2. This is the starting position. You want to begin by placing a terracotta on the ground. Extend the terracotta upwards by 8.
1, 2, 3. Hold on, let me do that again. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8.
1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8.
Hold on, let me have a look if I did that again. Did that right?
A birch plank on top, and extend right by 4.
4. 1, 2, 3, 4. So if I did that 8 again. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Okay. Just checking if I did that correctly because I was wondering if I did that incorrectly.
1, 2, 3, 4. Place terracotta coming down from that birchwood plank block until you eventually down to the base.
Oh yeah.
What we now want to do is create the entrance. So, for context, the entrance is going to sit one block backwards from the terracotta. There's going to be a dark oak door in the centre, black concrete left and right of the door. Extend the black concrete up by one block either side and place a block of glass in the middle. I then want you to place a row of terracotta above and outwards from the top of the door to create a little bit of depth. And then we are going to also add a row of terracotta coming down from the top here as well, where we have the birch planks. And I also want you to place 2 rows of green concrete coming down from that terracotta. The end result of this is that we can now place terracotta in between all of the empty space and also above the door, outwards from the row of terracotta that we have above it. It'll look a little bit weird, but this is what we want to have so far. Now that you have accomplished this, we are going to begin extending the entrance backwards. The way that we will do this is we will take the very first terracotta block that we placed and extend backwards by 2. 1, 2. And then to the left by 1. Place a black concrete and up by 1, 2. Left by 3. 1, 2, 3. Down to the ground and place a terracotta going left. It's now important to place 6 birch planks on top of the terracotta. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Like that. What I now want you to do, whilst it's fresh in our minds, is do the same on the opposite side.
Okay.
Take the opposite end of the entrance, place 1, 2 terracottas coming backwards, an additional terracotta going right, a black concrete, 2 on top, 3 to the right, 1, 2, and 3, and connect it down. Place a terracotta going right of the black concrete, and then 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 birch planks. I'm sorry if I did that a little bit fast. However, if you're unsure if you've done it right, just check the first side. Also, we now want to start extending Starbucks back a little bit. The way that we will do this is start on the very left side of Starbucks, and left of this terracotta right here, we want to place a black concrete. 2 on top, left by 3, 1, 2, and 3, connect it down to the ground, take the block on the ground and extend it backwards by 8 using terracotta.
1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8.
One, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. And I'm sure that I don't have to tell you, once you've done that on that side, you want to do the same on the opposite. Beginning from this terracotta, place a black concrete behind it, 2 on top, 1, 2, 3 to the right, black concrete down to the ground, and then simply extend terracotta backwards. You can count 8, or you can be sure that that row over there is the same as the row that we've just made. Connect the terracotta together at the back, like this. What's important now is that we add a few details around Starbucks. So, for instance, I'm going to place green concrete on top of every window, but that's not all. I also want to place upside down birchwood stairs above the green concrete. Additionally, I want to extend the green concrete out by a row, like so. But I don't just want to do that to that window, I want to do it to all of them. So, green concrete on top of the window, extend out, upside down stairs on top. And it is as easy as that. Once you have mastered this once, I'm sure that you will be able to do it to all of the 3 remaining windows. There are only 4 windows on the Starbucks. You can add more if you like, however, I didn't want to, so that would be a
Just making sure if my voice is okay. And, yeah, of course.
Complete choice, completely left up to you. So once you have managed to do this to every single one of those windows, well done. Next, we can start building up the walls a little bit. So on the sides of the square, we'll start on the left and right side. We are going to place birch planks coming up from the terracotta base. These birchwood planks will come up and in between the windows, and they will eventually be as high as the birchwood planks that you placed on the side, or on the front. Actually, and also the side.
Yeah.
3 dimensions. We also want to do the same thing on the opposite side as well. So, of course, as you guys might imagine, what we do to one side, we are going to do to the other side. Just like that. And that's wonderful. So now we have both sides taken care of. We are going to do the back. And I do want to also point out, I'm going to point this out now and perhaps even a little bit later on. This Starbucks is customizable. You are able to add more windows, more details, and more stuff that you will enjoy around your Starbucks as we go along. I'll even point out some suggestions. So, whilst you might think that perhaps that's a little bit boring now, I'll give you some tips on what you can do to make it your own. Now, as we have connected the back together, we now have to connect the front together. So, first of all, I'm just going to extend the terracotta left and right of the entrance backwards. So, I'm going to come all the way up to the top, and I'm going to extend the terracotta backwards. This is important because we want to form a solid wall. So from the back, we've raised the terracotta, we've raised it towards us, and from the front you can see it's going towards the back, and that will allow us to place birchwood planks between the windows and above the window. Like this, connecting to what we have just made. And of course you want to do this on both sides. And once you have done that, ladies and gentlemen, very nicely done, we can add a few more details. So, first thing we want to do is we want to place birchwood stairs all the way around the top of our... Whoa! All the way around... I'm so bad. All the way around the top. Starbucks. These upside down birchwood stairs will give shape to the building and it will stop it looking so blocky. It also so happens that a lot of Starbucks have this sort of familiar trim on them. So you can see that improves it in an instant. We also want to use the same detail up here at the top of the entrance. But first that would require us to further extend the top of the entrance only the parts above the birch wood. I mean, you can even come as far down as here where it's level and extend it back 1, 2, 1, 2, like this. We want to give the entrance a larger shape above the Starbucks, but not inside. So we're going to connect the back of these 2 rows of terracotta together. We're also going to add a row of birchwood planks around the top of this little entrance part here. And then we can quite freely add our birchwood stairs upside down around the top, which will give it shape. gives it a little bit more of life. It really does. Like now, you can see we're steadily improving this one. We have to add a ceiling. So just for the moment, I'm going to dump these materials. We will probably be needing a lot of them later on. And I'm going to grab the dark oak fence, the dark oak trapdoors, the stone slabs, and I'll tell you what, I do know that we will be needing the glass, and I'll give you a choice on which one. But we want to add a ceiling, the roof. I'm going to use stone slabs to accomplish this. I am going to place, not that it really matters, stone slabs half a row down from the top of the inside the build. So like this, right? Just to make it so that the roof has a little bit of depth. This is kind of irrelevant. You can use whatever you like to fill the top of your roof in. It's unlikely that most people are going to see the top of your roof. However, it is also possible. Especially if your city is built in many layers at many different heights, then it is possible somebody may see the top of the roof, and they might appreciate the fact that the roof has several colour tones. I don't know. Similar thing with Subway over there. Also, we're going to fill the top of this little part in here using the exact same same design. And now that that is done, we have to dig out around Subway. So, digging out around Subway is quite a daunting task. I would recommend digging out 2 rows all the way around Subway. What do I mean by 2 rows? I mean that no matter where you are, whether it's at the front where it sticks out a bit or whether it's at the side where it doesn't, dig out all of the grass or whatever material might be there, all of it out. Unless you so happen to have placed a layer of flooring material that you want, I would recommend digging out this entire area and replacing it with something that one would typically walk on. So, something like stone slabs, for instance, or maybe even concrete, something like that. I'm also going to dig underneath the windows. The whole point of this is to replace it all with a flooring material. Flooring material being something that you are going to use. particular case, I'm using stone slabs. But as I say, there's many different options. You may want to use what you're going to be using in your city for maybe like a road material. Or you might want to use, here's a few examples. You might want to use light grey concrete, some dark grey concrete. You might want to use cyan terracotta, which looks very much grey. You might even be using stone. Whatever is going to best fit into your world, unless you want this particular part of Starbucks to stand out, you're going to want to use those materials. And if you wanted to as well, this is another option, you can add a drive-through to your Starbucks as well. That's also another option. I just thought that I'd throw that out there whilst we were just kind of like digging around. Now that we have all of those stone slabs placed, I'm also going to quickly delete where the door is here, and I'm going to dig stone slab and chuck the door back there, just to save us doing it later. I'm going to use glass pane inside of all of the window areas. You could just as easily use glass block. I'm using pane just to create a level of depth. I don't always feel the need to do this, but on this particular occasion, because the windows are set level and flush with the rest of the wall, adding a little bit of depth, I think, adds to the build. Well, what can we do next here? We have to add the banner so everybody knows, oh, not only the banner, but we're going to add some fake lights to the top of the windows. We're also going to be adding the banners. I accidentally used what I'm going to be using for the banner. Okay. Perfect. So, above the windows you'll find in a lot of Starbucks there's lights. Now, these lights, we're not going to make real ones, but if you place a dark oak fence on top of coming out from the birchwood plank above the end, upside down of birchwood stairs, and then you place a dark oak trapdoor underneath, it kind of looks very similar to what they have going on. They actually have some very simple hanging, typically speaking, black lights above the windows. So we're emulating that by using these. Feel free to use actual lights if you so choose in the form of torches or perhaps some glowstone, but I think it just adds a little bit of detail which, I don't know, it kind of looks a little bit better to me. Next, we have some banner work, my least favourite part of these tutorials. So for the banner, we need a crafting table, we need 3 green banners, a load of white dye, a load of green dye, a single oxeye daisy, and a single wither skeleton skull. I'm going to slap down the crafting table, just like that. I'm not sure whether you heard that. And I'm going to begin crafting. So, first of all, we're going to start by placing a green banner right in the middle of the crafting table. White dye coming across the bottom. I'm going to grab the end result of that, and I'm going to chuck it back in the table. In the middle right side, I'm going to place white dye coming up diagonally from the bottom right corner to the top left. Grab the new banner and place it right in the middle of the table.
What happened?
Leaky.
What, did it leak?
It's only where I filled it up. I think it's just a bit of water.
Hi, Bonnie.
White dye comes across the top of it to form a backwards Z. but that's actually our S. So I'm going to grab the end result of that, I'm going to chuck it back in the table, and I'm going to place a green dye all the way around it to clean up the letters, and that is an S. There's many ways to do S's, but that one is how I particularly like to do them. Now, in the middle of the Starbucks, or in the middle of the sign that we're going to be creating, is the Starbucks logo. I did not invent this banner myself, however I will leave credit down below in the description for where I found this. You want to begin by placing a green banner in the bottom middle of the table. Place a white die above the banner, a single white die, and place an oxeye daisy to the left of the die. Grab the new banner and place it directly in the center of the table. White die bottom, right, top and left of the banner. Grab the new banner and place it in the direct once we have it. Here we go. I'm going a little bit faster than I can actually place all this stuff. Grab the new banner and place it in the bottom center of the table with a green die top left corner, top right corner, and in the center like this. Once you have created that shape, we're going to grab the new banner and place it in the bottom of the center of the table. Place a green die just above it like this, and grab the new banner. Place the banner in the bottom center of the table once more, a white die above it, and this is where the score comes in handy. We place it left of the die, grab the new banner, we place it now in the center of the table once more, this is the last step, and a green die coming down below. Grab the banner, and that looks quite a lot, vaguely, about as close as you can get as far as I can see, like the Starbucks logo. Now, for the last banner, we're going to place a green banner in the center of the table.
I just dumped all my banners. I just dumped all my banners. I just dumped all my banners. I just dumped them by accident. Oh, you know what? I'm gonna use a loom. I don't care, I'm using a loom. And a crafting table.
Going to begin crafting. So first of all, we're going to start by placing a green banner right in the middle of the crafting table. white dye coming across the bottom.
Hold on. Just to clear out all of my materials. And put all these here.
Diagonally from the eye comes across the back in the table. That one is how I back in the table. And I'm going to place green dye all the way around it to clean up the letters. And that is an S. There's many ways to do S's, but that one is how I particularly like to do them. Now, the middle of the Starbucks, or in the middle of the sign that we're going to be creating, is the Starbucks logo. I did not invent this banner myself, however I will leave credit down below in the description for where I found this. You want to begin by placing a green banner in the bottom middle of the table. Place a white die above the banner, a single white die, and place an oxeye daisy to the left of the die. Grab the new banner and place it directly in the centre of the table. White die bottom, right, top and left of the banner. Grab the new banner and place it in the direct. Once we have it, here we go. I'm going a little bit faster than I can actually place all this stuff. Grab the new banner and place it in the bottom centre of the table with a green die top left corner, top right corner, and in the centre like this. Once you have created that shape, we're going to grab the new banner and place it in the bottom of the centre of the table. Place a green die just above it like this, and grab the new banner. Place the banner in the bottom centre of the table once more, a white die above it, and this is where the score comes in handy. We place it left of the die, grab the new banner, we place it now, and this is where the score comes in handy. We place it left of the die, grab the new banner, we place it now in the centre of the table once more, this is the last step, and a green die coming down below. Grab the banner, and that looks quite a lot, vaguely, about as close as you can get as far as I can see, like the Starbucks logo. Now, for the last banner, we're going to place a green banner in the centre of the table and white die coming across the top. We're going to grab the new banner and slap it directly in the centre of the table again, with a vertical row of white die coming across top to bottom, like that. Grab the new banner and place it once again in the centre of the table, with white die this time on the right of it, top to bottom. Grab the new banner and place it in the centre of the table, with white die coming across the bottom. Grab the new banner and place it in the top middle part of the table, with white die just underneath it. Grab the new banner and thank you, this is the final step, place it right in the middle, and place green die all the way around. And that, ladies and gentlemen, will be your B. Just like that. So now we have an S, logo, and a B. And you might be able to figure out where these are going. Where we have these two rows of green concrete, on the left side an S, in between the logo, and then the B on the opposite side. And I think that that looks quite good. I mean, alternatively, you could find some sort of way to fit Starbucks somewhere on the build. Maybe even like across the side or something, but I think that that looks just fine as it is. Just in case, for some weird reason, I don't know why, I need these later, I'm going to slap a chest right here and I'm going to put them in there because they are horrible to make. I'm sure that I don't have to explain that they're really not fun to make, are they? Unless you guys like making banners like that. But here are a couple of suggestions for the outside of our Starbucks just before we pack things in. Now, I don't have these items in the material list, okay? But here are some ideas for what you might want to add around your Starbucks, just on the outside, before we move on to the side, okay? So you might want to add a couple of tables and chairs in front of the windows, maybe on the left side or the right side. This is easily achieved by using any kind of stairs, a fence in between, another stair on the opposite side, and something, some sort of trapdoor or something like that for the top of the table. And that looks like a set of table and chairs that people might enjoy their drink. You can place these on either side of your Starbucks, but these are not necessary. I actually think it clutters up the outside, hence why I didn't include these in the actual official item lists. But you could add those if you like. And the last little feature that I might recommend, I mean, they look kind of cool, but I don't know whether I like them or not. You might want to add paracels next to the table and chairs, you know, kind of like shade people and like stop people getting wet and stuff if it rains. So all you would need is birch fence and banners, and you just place a maybe like 3 or so high birch fence, or any fence as a matter of fact, and you place some banners around the top of it, and that looks like a let down umbrella. And again, that's like to protect people from the heat or perhaps even the rain. And you could place these near these seats, and you might like those. Those are just a couple of ideas. Again, it's completely up to you, but those are the only ideas that I have for you for the outside of your Starbucks, by the way. So that is the outside completely done, ladies and gentlemen. Very well done for making it this far. We're about halfway done. Now I'm going to introduce you to the inside of Starbucks. And before we start building, here are all of the materials that we are going... to be using. So please make sure that you have all of those materials, and once you do have them all, we can start on the next part of Starbucks, which is the inside. Alright, ladies and gentlemen, I have... just finished gathering all of the materials that we are going to be needing for the inside. I hope that you have managed to use that list and gather everything that you need for yourself as well. Once you're ready, we can begin. So, first we're going to head inside. I'd recommend going through the front door, as there isn't another one, otherwise you're going to be going through the wall. And first, we're going to install the ceiling. The ceiling's very easy to place. It is made out of mainly white concrete, and it just starts above the door like this, and you want to place white concrete for the entirety of the ceiling. We could of course make the ceiling a lot higher, but I so happen to like nice little cozy spaces for shops and stuff like that, and sometimes even houses, so my white concrete placed just above where the door begins and just above pretty much where every
Come on. I want this bat to leave. Trying to kill this bat. No. Oh, are you joking? Just leave, you stupid bat. Why do bats have to interrupt everything? How about this will help? I'm gonna get a sword. Yeah. That's what I thought. Stupid, idiotic bat.
Everywhere else begins, above the windows and all that stuff, is going to be just white concrete like that. And that significantly shrinks the amount of space that you have to work with. And now we have to place some light in here. You can figure this out in any number of ways, but I'm going to place a few sea lanterns placed strategically. Starting from any one of the corners, I'm going to count inwards. 1, 2, and then I'm going to move inwards 1, destroy that block, and I'm going to place a sea lantern. I'm going to do 1, 2, leave a gap at 2, sea lantern. 1, 2, sea lantern, like that. So we have 3 sea lanterns placed evenly along this wall. And I'm going to do the same on the opposite side. So you come to the corner, 1, 2, in 1, destroy. 1, 2, destroy, 1, 2, destroy. And then you've got sea lanterns coming all the way up. Now I'm going to use a similar sort of thing here. The glass that we have above the door is where I want the sea lanterns to be coming up the middle of the building, and I want to line up the sea lanterns with the other sea lanterns. So I'll show you what I mean. So now, horizontally, we have placed the sea lanterns in the same place, coming across the ceiling, and we've also placed them coming up where the middle of the door is. And you'll find that that actually provides a nice amount of light, and it looks very nice and balanced like this. Well, what else are we going to be doing? I'm going to destroy the floor a little bit. I'm going to place a trim of birchwood planks going all the way around the edge of the floor. The middle of the floor is more predominantly colourful. It's white and green, as you might expect. But around the edge of the floor, and also just inside the entrance, we're going to have birchwood planks. I find that this frames the centre of the floor better, and oftentimes when you go to places like this, you'll find that it's not all carpet, so it kind of makes sense having like a little bit of a trim or a border around where the floor is, like this. I want to start making like the counter and stuff, so if we come all the way to the very back right corner of our Starbucks, starting from this corner, we want to count left. We want to go 1, 2, and 3. And this is where we're going to start. We're going to place an iron trapdoor coming out from that terracotta. We want to count left. We want to go 1, 2, and 3. And this is where we're going to start. If we come all the way to the very back right corner of our Starbucks, starting from this corner, we want to count left. We want to go 1, 2, and 3. And this is where we're going to start. We're going to place an iron trapdoor coming out from that terracotta, and then 3 terracotta coming outwards from the trap. 1, 2, 3. Just like that. And then we're going to extend the terracotta all the way to the left, and we will connect to that wall. And what we also want to do is we kind of want to create a line where people are going to be able to queue and stuff for their coffee and their treats and all that fun stuff. So if you come to the very front right corner of the counter here, you count into the left by 1, dig into the ground, 2 spaces coming towards you, place a terracotta, and then we want to do the same coming from the opposite end of the counter now. As a matter of fact, it's a little bit different. From the end of the counter here, we're going to count right by 1 and 2, and then we're going to dig in the ground 1, 2, place a terracotta, dig in between them, terracotta, and then glass pane in between. And then that kind of just creates a little bit of separation from where people are going to be drinking and ordering their coffee and all that fun stuff. So now I'm going to destroy the area behind the counter and I'm going to floor it. I'm going to floor it with some birch wood planks because I want it to be different back here than it is everywhere else. However, everywhere else inside of Starbucks, I'm going to rip up the floor, everything but the birch wood. I'm not going to rip up the birch wood planks that we placed. That'd be insane. But we're going to get all of these grass and what have you. All of this up and we're going to place the colourful flooring. And before we start adding some other stuff as well, it might kind of like make your eyes go a little bit wacky. I don't know, you'll be able to see for yourself, but I'm just going to move these two closer together. So, what did I just do? Green and... Come on, what? I don't even know what happened there. So, starting from anywhere, pretty much, we're going to create a pattern. We're going to place white concrete, and in between the white concrete, we're going to be placing green. Doesn't really matter how it starts or where it ends or whatever, but as long as you start off somewhere and place alternating green and white, and you create a chessboard pattern, a checkerboard pattern, an alternating two-tone pattern going throughout the entire build, where we have just destroyed the floor, then you will make what is kind of like a nice brand recognized, kind of fits in rather well pattern for a floor that makes the build look quite nice. So green and white seemed like an obvious choice. I like the concrete because it's smoother than the wall, although wool would make more sense because of course it's much more of a flooring material, but concrete works well in my opinion, and it just looks nice and smooth and it looks clean and it kind of fits with the outside. So yeah, looking at this, I mean, it kind of makes my eyes go a little bit funny. I don't know about you guys, but I really like how it looks. So now that we've done that, we're going to create a couple of like tables and chairs, because obviously, I mean, people want to sit and drink their coffee and stuff. So you can place these literally anywhere. So here's a couple of ideas. So left and right of the entrance here, right? We're going to place like this: chair, fence in the middle, chair. And we're going to do this on either side of the entrance because it seems like an easy place to place them, right? Just like that. We're going to have a similar sort of thing like just opposite these. So just opposite this set of chairs, we're going to have like a chair, fence in the middle, like that. When it comes to this point here, we can't really have that without it being a bit clunky, because we can't place a chair like here coming out from the boundary, so we'll have like a chair here and a fence, and we'll just have a little single. Sometimes you just want to drink alone, it happens. On this little side wall here, I'm going to have a similar thing, so I'm going to have like a chair, fence in between, like that. Additionally, on this back wall, I'm going to have equidistant between the wall and these chairs. I'm going to have 1, 2, 3 terracotta like that. And we're going to place stuff here later. Also, behind this back counter, if we count... Anyway, from this wooden iron trap door, we're going to leave a gap of 1, and then we're going to place white concrete coming left. We're going to place 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. just like that, coming across the back. And we've actually made a huge amount of the interior, whether you guys might realise it or not. Like, we've done quite a lot here. Let's chuck away this whole set of materials and we'll grab this next row here. So you might have to, you know, pause, make sure that... These, we've got pressure plates, chest, furnaces. I'm sure that you guys recognise all these anyway. But grab all these and then we can start work a little bit more. So next thing we're going to do is we are going to, in the left corner, just going left of the counter sort of area here, we're going to place a double chest, 2x2x2, just on top of each other right here. We're going to, starting from the left side of this white concrete, we're going to leave this block alone. But to the right of it, 2 brewing stands. 2 furnaces next to there, and then 2 more brewing stands on the right. Just like this. So, like, these are for brewing coffee, you know, in quotation marks, and, you know, the furnaces are for cooking food, quotation marks. And we're going to place another set of furnaces on top. Tripwire hooks above the brewing stands because it kind of fits for some reason, I don't know why, it just kind of fits. We're going to place item frames left and right of the tripwire hooks like this. We're also going to come to this little counter area here and we're going to place a chest left and right of the counter, and we're going to place item frames above there. That'll make sense a little bit later on. Additionally, I want to have a painting on this wall. So the painting is just like, it's literally like here, right here, yeah, and I want a middle painting, so I'm going to make sure that I get that. I want a painting right here, and that's actually my favourite, like, 2x1. Painting. Like, I really like that. And it's just to add a bit of decoration. We're also going to be adding a painting here, like furnaces. I want to have like a 2x2 painting here. That's quite a nice one, but I quite like the spider as well. I might actually use this just for a bit of colour variance, because the spider's very white and black, and it's, you know, 2 primary colours inside here already. So that looks pretty good. I'm going to use white carpet and green carpet to kind of just fluff up the countertop. So that looks pretty good. I'm going to use white carpet and green carpet to kind of just fluff up the countertop here as well. I'm even going to place like a white carpet here and here, just on the right side. Oh no, what am I doing? I'm causing havoc. We can fix that. So, terracotta here, white concrete there. And in between these 2 white carpets is actually going to be a cash register, but the last material that we have on us that we're going to be using a lot of is pressure plates, these birch pressure plates, and I'm going to place kind of like an equal amount of birch pressure plates as I am going to place an equal amount of dark oak wood pressure plates, or somewhere close to it. So probably about this many. And those are just going to be the tabletops as you look around. Now I'm going to dump all of these materials except close to it. So probably about this many. And those are just going to be the tabletops as you look around. Now I'm going to dump all of these materials except for the paintings, and I'm going to grab I'm going to need torches, sugar, cocoa beans, quartz stairs.
Not soul torch. Okay, where's the sugar? Sugar. Okay, it'll be here. So sugar. There's the sugar. Cocoa beans. Of course, there's flower pots. Dark oak pressure plates.
Flower pots and some dark oak pressure plates. And I'm going to place dark oak pressure plates on the remaining tables, just to vary up a little bit. You can't actually have an equal amount as there's only 5 tables, but you could easily make some more chairs and stuff as you went around. I'm going to place torches in a few places, like next to this painting seems like a good idea, and maybe like a left and a right at the entrance just as you come in. I don't know, it kind of makes sense. Maybe even on this wall to provide a little bit more light, even if you need it. I'm going to place paintings above where we have these tables, the left and a right at the entrance just as you come in. I don't know, it kind of makes sense. Maybe even on this wall to provide a little bit more light, even if you need it. I'm going to place paintings above where we have these tables left and right at the entrance as well, which is why I should probably use these, because I want just a single painting, and it can be any painting really, as long as it's not too ugly. I just want a bit more colour on the walls. God, that's horrible, but that'll do. They're nice little different sets of colours, just like right there. It just looks kind of nice, right? I mean, you could even have one here, perhaps, like just above this table. Okay, or maybe not. Fair enough. So now we've actually done like a huge amount of the interior. All we're going to do now is, in between these 2 chests, I'm going to stick a flower pot, which looks like a coffee cup. I'm going to place sugar inside these chests. You know, if you have coffee, you might want sugar, who knows? And above here, I'm going to place cocoa beans in the item frames with flower pots below. And of course, that's just like to signify coffee, cocoa beans, coffee. And I'm also going to place the flower pots look like cups. And you can even place a couple of these like across the counter like that as well. Believe it or not, ladies and gentlemen, I mean, we have put quite a lot of effort into this, but it's not a bad interior. It looks like you might expect like a coffee shop to look at. Like, you know, you've got like some food, you've got some drinks, you've got like a place to sit, you queue, you've got the cash register right here in between these 2 white walls here. Kind of looks like a cash register. I don't know. And yeah, I mean, if you want to add a little more details, you're more than free to. So, like for instance, if you wanted to add windows, you could add windows about the place. Maybe you could add one like here, for instance, and then you could have like a takeaway sort of window here. So, like if you wanted to, you could have like cars coming up the side, and you could have like a little takeaway window, which would of course require some glass. But you can add more windows, you can add a little bit of takeaway area, which is what this is. You probably, you'd have something like that, and then maybe like a couple of trap doors.
Hello, G1 Song, welcome to live stream.
Window, it's up to you. And something else that you might want to also just add, like you could add, for instance, like signs. And you could put different types of coffee or different, stuff in the signs if you wanted to, like above where these chests are. You could have like an order board and stuff. You could even have a similar thing just here, and you could actually have like 4 of them here. just kind of like an order board, as you might expect. But that's completely up to you. And that's, ladies and gentlemen, that's Starbucks complete. I mean, I hope that you guys are happy with it. Let's get rid of all this stuff and let's take a look at this thing now that it's all done, eh? So this is our Starbucks. This is what it looks like from the outside. If you do choose to add a couple of little extra details to your Starbucks, if you want to add a couple of seats and maybe some Paracels and stuff, we even have the little drive-through window that you see on that opposite side there.
Alright guys, we have made Starbucks. This is the end of the video. So all of the people are joining the live, guys. Unfortunately I'm gonna end the video because I already made Starbucks. You missed out. And I love how this build looks. I like I am tempted to make the Starbucks logo. If you know like the Starbucks logo, it's the lady. Look it up. I attempted that and look at that. Anyway, hello, and Gad and Tech Videos, welcome to live stream. Anyway, we have finished this build, and this build is hot. Get it? Hot coffee. I hope you guys enjoyed this video of me building Starbucks. If you did guys enjoy this video, smash that like button, smash that subscribe button, hit the notification bell so you don't miss a video from me, and I'll see you guys soon. Have a lovely day guys. Peace out.